That's called Insane Pressure by my man 1MA. And I got him up in the house today. A lot of y'all may know him as Virtue. And
Long time ago.
yeah, and he has been off the scene for quite a while, and now we're catching back up with this fucking muscle guy. So, how are they holding up?
Lifting them boxes, man. That's it, man. No gym stuff. No bench press. No curls. Just lifting them boxes, man. That's it, man.
Yeah, man, that's fucking crazy. Cause I lift boxes too a lot, and huge stacks of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, I'm just cursed with these little tiny fucking chicken wings, bro.
Yeah.
Like some dude, from one side thought that I was like malgrown as a child.
Yeah.
He thought that my ass had a chicken wing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess that's a good question to start with. When you were in school, was there a child who had like a bad arm? Ever?
At some point, sure. I'm sure I saw it at some point. Not that I would, try to stare and shit. But that's just me.
Yeah, we had a kid. His name was Randy, which was so close to Andy that people used to say like, "Yeah, you guys should be joined at the hand." Nah, but he literally had like a Dyson's chicken wing, like the uncooked chicken wing, on the side of his body, and but he smoked mad green, dude, and he had a lot of money, so he would just be chilling with us and shit, And I remember one time like the cops came and busted us, and like they got him like literally by the chicken wing, and he made the noise, the weirdest noise, like by the tip, and they pulled it, and he just like let out with this. And they let go immediately. Like, even the cops were scared. Yeah. Like, I never touched his chicken wing, but that cop did. And I bet you that cop has nightmares to this day. You can't be just touching people's, like, extremities, especially if they have, like, a deformity or a handicap. But anyway, that's beside the point. So speaking of deformities or handicaps, you have none. This guy's like a stud, dude. Like, literally. I'm not going to have him stand up and model for you because
I'm not a model. Yeah. There's that.
Yeah, and also the implications of a white guy telling a black guy stand up and turn around and show your muscles.
Yeah.
That's not very
there's that too.
Correct at all, and I don't even want to go there.
Yeah, that's not.
I want to go everywhere, man. I want to fucking like break some rules.
Okay, fine. Not right now, but let's go.
I want to break some fucking rules up in this joint, man.
Let's not break that rule right now.
Right.
I got a question for you though. How the hell did we make that connection to deformities in the extremities?
Well, because I was saying basically that ever since I've known you, you've been like super jacked. You and
But I don't feel that way though, bro. Because I'm not.
Nobody feels that way. Listen, have you ever seen Tony? You remember Tone Capone? Yeah. I'm gonna try to have him on this show too, and I'm gonna put a link to his Facebook or whatever down below so you guys can just go check this dude out.
That's Mr. 703.
Yeah, I wonder sometimes when he wakes up, does he feel jacked? Is there like a pressure, like, you know what I mean? Like The Rock said, like, I can't relax my shoulder. It doesn't do that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like with guys like that, that's kind of how it is. Like, so yeah, I mean, some of my questions just are involving how it is that you manage to, like, do you have like a special diet or something? Like,
no, I eat like shit, for real.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I try not to, but like, convenience is convenience, and sometimes it's convenient. Sometimes it's convenient a couple days in a row. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that sometimes. But I mean, I know. Okay, I put it this way. As far as like my eating habits are concerned, I know both ends of the spectrum. I know what it's like for me when I'm eating like complete crap versus when I'm eating real well.
Right, right. Your body will kind of tell you.
Yeah, you feel different too. You do. You feel different.
Oh, absolutely. And I noticed something else too, like with my cat.
Yeah.
if I put something down in front of it like that, it won't like, it won't eat it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying like, oh yeah, it doesn't eat what it doesn't like, but let's just say I mix some aspirin in with its food or something. It would smell that shit and be like, this particular pile of food, I'm not down with. You know what I'm saying? Not that I've mixed aspirin in with the cat's food, but there were times when I tried.
Wouldn't that kill a cat though if you do that?
Oh, I don't think so. Maybe not. I'm not a pharmaceuticist.
Yeah, let's not let's not delve down that one. You know what I mean? Let's not think about it. Let's not try it because
Right.
I love my cats and
it's not a good experiment.
Yeah, fuck no, definitely not. Definitely not.
But no, I've noticed like, well, let's just say her food is out. It's been out a little too long, or if I left it in the fridge in a bag, and I pull it out and I'm like, this bag is swollen with gas, and I give it to her, she's like, I don't want this at all, and she won't eat it, you know.
Hell nah.
Or chocolate, she won't eat chocolate. She'll eat white cake though. So it's kind of like what I'm saying is like people, like to your point,
they have a taste for certain things.
Yeah, and they also know. Some people kind of know their limits, and if you're smart and you listen to your body, it'll tell you what you should be doing. But
case in point.
You know, I just talked about this recently, and it's
just throw this shit out there.
It's one of those things where the way I feel is that this glass with this dark vino substance that I'm going to sip on right now, is perfectly accented with a drag of this insanely toxic chemical, right?
Yeah.
But oh my fucking god, this is living life. Like otherwise, you're laying down, and we may as well lay down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Honestly, if you want to like be in perfect harmony with nature, I would say learn how to meditate and focus to the point where you can use your eyes and your pineal gland to get all your nutrition from the sun, and then you won't need to kill anything to eat or anything, not even plants, right? And then you just kind of learn how to use your chi to float, and then you won't have to even step on a blade of grass or even an ant, right? So then once you've attained that level of like awesomeness, then like the interdimensional beings will all come down and say, humanity, you've saved yourself. But beyond that, we kill all day.
Yeah.
But come on, man, I'm sorry, where were we?
I don't remember.
We were talking about
young arms. I remember that.
Yeah, we were talking about your powerful physique, and but this is honestly going to just segue around into your job.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to name names of companies in this cast. All right. This show, please. Said cast, right? Did I say cast? I didn't even say the P word at all, but I'm not even trying to use the word. None of that. It's a show. You know what I mean? We're showing off. I'm showing off this guy right here. You know what I mean? Ladies, if you're interested, anybody?
Stupid.
He's single. That's for sure.
Yeah,
And
I am that.
I found that information out before the show.
Yeah, I am that.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like all of us, he's been through some shit, man, and every guy's ready to start anew. And that's kind of like what life's all about, right? But right now, we're not talking about new. How long you been working with this shipping company?
Like five and change.
5 years and some change?
Yeah.
And you're a driver.
Yeah.
So you are one of those maniacs. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, you know how many of you FedEx drivers I have to dodge? I work in D.C., like, and I be cutting through alleys, and these alleys lead to loading docks, and FedEx drivers are going down these alleys to these loading docks. There's like this much room, and he does not give a fuck if you're in there. Dude, if he just kind of moved over to the side a little bit,
you're dead.
You would be meat grinded.
Yeah.
You'd be hamburger.
Damn.
Right? But at the same time, we're kind of used to that out there. So
UPS drivers the same way?
Yeah, UPS drivers are the same way. And it's funny because I have a UPS driver she comes in there every day, and man, it's like you guys are like a male and female version of the same person. She's really like masculine, you know what I mean, and all and whatnot. But she's fucking cool as shit. She sits down, talks for a minute, you know what I mean. unless she's really busy, in which case she's like, man, fucking. You know what I mean? Like,
Fuck.
but yeah, because it's stuff you're like, man, I got this fucking run, and they fucking put all this shit on me, and then they fucking overloaded my truck.
Every other word is fuck.
Every other fucking
Fuckity,
dude. Oh yeah. When we're talking about work, bro. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. So, you drive, and let me ask you a question, man. We're gonna talk Corona for a little bit, and jobs.
Yeah.
Your job seems to have been pretty swollen right now. You're getting a lot of fucking deliveries and shit, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's at home. They need supplies delivered to them. Yeah. Anything they need, they can't just go out and get from the store, so they depend on you guys, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of like one of the things that I wanted to do here, which is just, recognize and honor the fact that, like, people like these guys, the postal workers, the package handlers, the delivery drivers, the truckers who are out there on the road bringing groceries in, the grocery store workers that are literally facing every person that comes in there. They have to sit, the person on the register, they're just breathing it all in, bro. And they've taken into account all of that, it seems. And they're still there. You know what I mean? And a lot of it, you would think, and no matter what, to me, it's heroic what you guys are doing. You know what I mean? But it also kind of brings up.
I don't see it that way, but go ahead.
Well, maybe what you're going to say is aligned with
go ahead.
this point.
Continue.
Because I was going to bring up the fact that there are people who are scared of the virus who have to work.
This is true.
They have to be out there because what are you going to do? I mean, the money's still got to get made.
Yeah, because there's been no definite decision on it. So until that point, nobody knows. I don't know. I mean, but just like for me, man, like I would say the biggest change for me with this is, with the exception of, being, in the warehouse, and I got my space, my truck, my pallets, blah, 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 you know what I mean? Most of the time I spend by myself anyway. You know what I mean? And like, we got, protocol in place where it's like, for stuff that requires signature, we can forego that right now legally as long as somebody's home to receive it, and we're good. Just to to limit that physical interaction, if you will. You know what I mean?
I see. So you guys do have some rules in place regarding like hazardous times and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
contagion.
I mean, I put it to you like this: like, if the threat is the human touch, okay, but like the way I see it for an airborne virus, if the threat is that it's airborne, like it's just in the air. Like the threat is just in the air itself.
Right. So I mean, that's the thing. Like that's what they're saying. I don't think there's anybody who's saying that touching causes the virus, unless you're talking about touching your eyes, which the name of this episode is episode 2, working with my man, and the name of the podcast is "There's Something in My Eye."
Shh. You said the P word.
I did. Cut back. What am I gonna do? Because that's what everybody's doing is a podcast, right?
Yeah.
But fuck, dude, I'm not trained yet to be even in my own mentality. Right now, I'm trying to do everything different. You know what I mean? And like, I guess it's a fucking podcast, but it's the show, no matter what. And I didn't even come up with a name for it yet. Honestly, it's episode 2, and we can come up with a name for it whenever we want.
Yeah, the show must go on. Right,
absolutely. As a matter of fact, we're going to wait a little while, and we're going to come up with a name later on in the show, probably right near the end. But, yeah, I'm sorry about that little kerfuffle and everything. I'm not cutting it out because I'm making this, I just want this to be all real. You know what I mean? All mistakes, because we all make mistakes, man. I'm just going to let it fucking roll. Fuck it. And so, honestly, where were we at?
Just the threat of still being out there potentially, if there is, if there isn't, I don't know. I mean,
Oh yeah. Is it physical contact? Is it sneezing? Is it coughing? Is it just rubbing your eyes?
whatever the reports say, you know what I mean? I mean, just from what I've ascertained, because like I mean, you understand, I don't watch the news, you know, so I'm not getting all of that information flowing in my direction because I'm not looking for it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like,
there's a lot of people that are actually like that don't know what's going on because they're so busy.
well, it's like it's one thing to be privy, but it's another thing to be in the loop. You understand what I'm saying? And just from information that I've gathered, you know, you gotta be smart about, you know, viruses and germs and shit. You know what I mean? You have to, you know, keep your hands clean. You know, make sure you're not touching your face and your mouth and all that.
Yeah,
especially if your hands have not been cleaned and all that stuff. You know, like I mean, basic hygiene stuff though. For real.
That's all. Honestly, that's all super. Like you said, basic hygiene rules.
Yeah.
But I've always been the type to think that like when I was young, and I picked up the earthworm and ate it out of the dirt.
Really?
That. Yeah, I did, and I was like a little kid, dude. And I remember the feeling of it in my mouth, dude. It was like I just smashed that bitch. See, my mom was running at me full speed.
Oh, she saw you.
Because she saw me with that worm in my hand, going, here we go. She was running at me full speed, and you know, I remember this. She recalls it, but I remember it, going, lady. And chewing it up and swallowing it as fast as I could, right? But getting stuck, like, halfway through the swallow and throwing up. Because it was just such a gross, nasty taste and feeling. So, yeah, my mom basically got to me and was like trying to open my mouth, and I just threw up. Like,
oh man.
Yeah. So that's Andy, circa I don't know. Real little, man. I was real little, bro.
Little Andy.
Right. Yeah. But to the point, like I feel like as I grew up and I did things, like I've done things like go to the creek and live for a week. And take my water out of the creek, boil it, and drink it. Yeah. Right? I've done that before. So, I don't know, man. I just feel like doing those kind of things keeps your immune system, like, up. It keeps it active. Mm-hmm. When you're actively engaged in germs, like I said, like, the name of the show was There's Something in My Eye. Right? And, I mean, when there's something in my eye, I fucking clean it.
Right.
I don't give a fuck, right? If I've got, like, food on my fingers, you know, I have expressed this before, but that's my point is that, like, how is your immune system going to go up? It's these people that are Cloroxing everything their whole life. Yeah. You know what I mean? These fucking families that, like, go ahead and stress, dads who stress, you didn't bleach the kitchen counters this week. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta use bleach. You gotta kill all those germs. It's like fucking Jesus Christ. And you're drinking filtered or distilled water. Everything you drink is purified. So if a fucking virus gets in you, it's gonna have a field day with your natural biology. You know what I mean? But I think that I'm a little stronger than that, bro. I like to think so. And even yourself being out there around all those people all the time, you've probably developed quite a few, like, strengthened aspects to your immunity system.
When I'm out there, I'm not really around people that much, though.
You know when you walk into an office and you hand a box over.
True. But
and they're like, hello, have a good day. Yeah. Maybe 5 seconds before that, they were coughing into the air. Now,
True.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you... Chances are, maybe not. Yeah. But if you gauge that out over 4 years of doing deliveries every day,
it's happened at least once.
Right. The odds go up and up and up and up and up, and you have, in fact, like been in contact with certain things. So, I mean, but that's everybody's life. Yeah. I'm in contact with lots of customers. We were printing a bunch of books for GW. They're right next to my shop, and we were printing their lab manuals. So literally like 175 people a week for 3 weeks were just coming into my shop. And we don't do like countertop business. Like most people don't come in and order something or buy something from our store. They order online. They'll come in and we use the counter just to get the sale done and out. You know what I mean? Kind of like a rental car countertop. You know, you don't go in and just fucking. I don't know. My point is completely like contrasted by my stupidity and lack of being able to speak. But I can attribute that to alcohol, which you don't drink, right?
Nope.
At all.
Nope.
When was the last time you had a drink?
Some point in 2007.
About 2007? What changed? What made you want to just completely stop drinking? You know it's fun, right? It helps you talk to people. You know what I mean? Gets you like more like...
Yeah, you lose your inhibition.
You get a little more open. You get
a little loose.
Right, exactly.
Stop feeling yourself a little bit.
You make mistakes like calling this show a podcast and then fucking up the whole routine that my mind was working on. Just, whatever. No alcohol.
Yeah, man. Like, it was like kind of like how you were sucking that cup just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that. That was special. But anyway, man, like I don't know. Just it got to a point, man, where I got tired of doing that same shit all the time. Like, I mean, and it wasn't just like the alcohol. It was smoking, drinking, chiefing, everything. Like everything as a collective.
Because I'm thinking back to 10, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago when I knew you before. And I remember specifically a scene where you're sitting on a couch and you got a 40.
No. Never.
I feel like you had a 40, bro.
Never. You know why never?
What did you drink in 2007?
Alcohol. Like I've never been a beer drinker.
Like liquor?
Never. Yeah.
So maybe you just had a bottle of something. You had a bottle in your lap. Maybe it was in a brown bag too. So maybe I thought it was a 40, but it was a bottle of like something else.
151.
Okay, that's a possibility. And you know what? We're going to tie that around too. Because guess what, man? I have watched people bloat into fucking friendly Stay Puft Marshmallow people drinking beer. Bro, it's just a whole bunch of fucking carbs and calories. Just, you know what I mean? Like, dude. And people, if you're one of those people who lives on beer and spaghetti, good fucking luck, man. Good luck, bro. I mean, I've kind of cut carbs out of my life, man, and sugars and shit like that. The most sugar I'll have is like wine has sugar in it, you know what I mean? And occasionally I have a whole box of Swiss cake rolls. And I'll eat one because I feel like it's the most sugary thing I can eat that will add sugar into my diet.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to have it like a lot, you know what I mean? It's not good for you at all. It's not good. Honestly, like from what I've read, it's not good for you at all.
Yeah, especially the processed sugar.
Right. Yeah. But what do I know? Everybody says things aren't good for you, and at the end of the day, like our immune systems, like I said, are so fucking like fragile. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're so fragile and like
fragile, but yet dynamic at the same time.
They are dynamic, and it's interesting how much the body can take.
Yeah.
This is very interesting how much the body can take.
Yeah.
But I have been seeing some videos of women and old people. Like, I don't want to say women and old people. It was a video of a woman, right, who was like chained to the bed, bro. She was like sutured to her fucking like IVs, bro. They were stitched into her arteries, man.
Damn.
And she was like completely like fucked, bro. You could tell when she was talking that it was hard for her to breathe. Right? And then her message at the end of the video was, all you cigarette smokers, quit. Because you never really understand how precious breathing is. I'm just gonna bust in with this real quick. Yes, I do. I've watched people like not being able to breathe and it looks like it sucks. Yeah. And one day, I kind of think that might happen to me. And it might happen in, like, another way, too. I might go out some completely other way. You know what I mean? Who knows? That's just... Like I
You never
said,
know.
man. Like I said, a man can enjoy his tobacco and his wine, and he can sit back and be, relaxed, bro. That's how I would feel relaxed. When I light up a jack, it's like I'm relaxed. You know what I mean? I don't always smoke. Most of the time, I'm not smoking.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm engaged in a situation, boy, it just makes it feel like so much better. And I'm not really advocating smoking. I don't want to advocate smoking to youngsters. As a matter of fact, it's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think we can both agree on that it's not something.
It's not helpful.
Right, right. And if you do get addicted to it, you're addicted. So if you can avoid getting addicted,
Yeah, stay away.
right.
It's to your benefit. You stay away.
All right, man. So your job though, it looks like it's pretty steady. My job got shut down. You know what I mean? So that kind of sucks, bro.
Yeah.
Are you delivering marketing? Are you delivering a lot of toilet paper?
I'm not now, but like earlier, I was, but I didn't make the connection until like I started seeing a lot of reports on it. Like it's like certain reports, like certain stuff goes viral. It's like you're gonna see it regardless,
Right.
whether you want to or not. You're gonna see it. So I didn't make the connection till later, and then like I remember it was one house, man. Like I delivered like 3 80-pack boxes of toilet paper, and I was like, God damn, like really?
Right, right.
That's a lot of
Speaking of
toilet paper, man.
speaking of like connections, man, you ever seen the commercials for Downey where it's like a bear,
Yeah.
and like he's got a little son bear, and he's like needs his asshole wiped? I'm like, how is that little bear gonna get taken care of? Do they? It would be so great to just have to be a cartoon, because you could just draw more toilet paper for yourself, right?
I mean, if you're talking about the actual cartoon character itself.
Yeah, your creator could just draw like a
Well,
pile
okay,
of toilet paper
then,
behind you.
Okay, then there you go. Yeah, because if the cartoon character itself was doing it, then that cartoon character would theoretically be breaking the fourth wall. But yeah,
Right. Well, the point is, I was feeling a little jealous. I was watching that little bear, and he was like, pulling off his rolls of toilet paper, and I was thinking to myself, like, I have like a few rolls of toilet paper, but I'm not like loaded. I'm not. I'm not TP rich. I'm not TP Trump, dog. I'm not like rolling in the TP and the cheddar. That is cheddar, by the way. I think that I could go outside with a bunch of TP and possibly get some sex for it. As opposed to cash, I could probably go out there with just a bunch of TP and water and come back here satisfied. Because your boy's not satisfied. Your boy has been having some problems, man. This lockdown is keeping like everybody away, man. You know what I mean? People are like, I don't know, like canceling plans and shit.
I mean, can you blame him though?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly, like, okay, let's say you personally, you're like unmoved by it all, in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
But at the same token, understanding what the circumstances are, you could see how other people could be. I think I'm going to stay home.
If I thought it was real, right? Yes. If I listened to those certain news outlets, which I'm not going to name, but those certain news organizations that are really pumping this thing,
Yeah.
then yeah, I can understand why they want to stay home.
Yeah.
It's not it's not really anything personal. It's just I'm kind of like, this is not happening to just me. It's happening to tons of people.
Yeah.
But when you're by yourself in the house for hours, it feels like it's just you. And at the end of the day, isn't it just you?
Imagine that same thought process extended for a week or 2 or 3 or more.
Right. I'm like
You know what I'm
super sensitive to this. I'm like
You know what I'm saying?
already in panic mode. Dude, I have got all of my stuff in the living room packed up into what's survival gear and what's non-survival gear. Literally, like, I'm ready to go ahead and fucking, like, find the deepest woods I know of in this area and hide in them with a tent covered up and just wait till, like... You ever seen Red Dawn, the movie?
Mm-mm.
It was like an old movie. Patrick Swayze was in it, and it was like a bunch of kids who were out in the woods hunting when all of a sudden the Russians invaded. Literally, were dropping in from parachutes into town.
Damn.
Russians just dropping into town from parachutes.
Shit.
and they ended up running deep into the woods. I think they weren't in the woods at first. They were at school when the Russians came, but they took off, got a bunch of supplies from the hardware store and the good, like the whatever all around store. There was guns and shit there too. Yeah. They took off into the woods and they hid. And then for like, I don't know how long, maybe a year or so, they just waged war with all the Russians who tried to kind of infiltrate inside there. We can't do that today because they're going to like pinpoint us with GPS and shit and just blow us up.
Drone you out.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm still ready to go deep into a wooded area, dig a deep hole, put a tent over top of it, and just cover the tent with leaves and shit and just kind of hide and only come out when I need to. You know what I mean? Just because, dude, I feel like pretty soon, man. I mean, you showed me a video earlier today. Yeah. Pardon me, by the way.
Oh, the one from FedEx Field.
Yeah. Of somebody saying, "Oh, look, the military's out there. They're in FedEx Field, and they are, in fact, equipping it, FedEx Field, to handle lots of people."
That's what it looked like. I mean, my bad. I mean, per se, I don't know, but that's what it looked like. I mean,
right, and we're not completely knowledgeable on the subject, but we also do know that there's a lot of things that have been going on in the past few years about, like, FEMA camps being secretly built, large facilities, jails, basically large jails that are unoccupied right now.
Holding facilities, as well as stacks and stacks and stacks of large coffins equipped to handle like 60 corpses. Let's call it what it is, corpses.
I saw the same video. It was like each coffin could have 5 each or something.
Yeah. The big black joints.
Right, like so. And you know, they could say it's not a coffin. It's just a big Tupperware like container.
Storage container.
Right. You can say it's not a coffin. That's obviously, and I mean, we have no actual proof that it's a coffin. Let's just get that straight right now. I mean, honestly, it'd be interesting to kind of get into the aspect of like the conspiracy theory side of all of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with the coronavirus? Why is it happening? Was it the Chinese people? What do you think, man? Do you think the Chinese people were eating bats and that some of them got sick and that it started spreading?
I put it to you like this. Like, I don't know for sure. Obviously, I don't know for sure, right? But there's certain parts of the information that's, you know, come past my ears about the origin. And there are a couple of things that got me, you know, questioning aspects of it. Like, for example, how they talk about the elderly and people with weak immune systems are the most affected. You know what I'm saying?
And, right. And kids don't have to worry and shit.
Right, young people is basically what they're saying.
Right.
And the part about that has me questioning it is that, you know, something that happens biologically in nature like that, whether it be a virus or worse, or a plague, it has no discretion. You know what I mean? It's not going to pick and choose. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not intelligent like that. You know what I mean? Right. So when I start hearing about something that's supposed to be, you know, biological, this, you know, COVID-19, that's picking off the elderly or picking off the sickly, you know, that seems more by design than just happening naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the natural course of things, you know, people that are old will die before people that are young. You know what I'm saying? Like, in most cases, I mean, obviously, you know what I mean?
Right.
You have cases where, you know, young people, you know, they just die, car accident, you know, things happen. Like, you know, tragedies.
Like an old person with pneumonia has always died.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, the longer you live, eventually you're going to come to the end.
It sounds really fucking like unsensitive.
I mean, I don't want.
It's true.
I don't want to make it real morbid. You understand what I'm saying? But like, just I find it odd that, you know, something that's supposed to be completely biological is targeted, picking off the elderly and the sickly. You know, I find that odd. It makes me question that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Like how, you know, something comes from a bat, cross contaminate with something. Now it's specifically picking off elderly and the sick. You know, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so you think maybe it's a matter of like resources and stuff? Because one thing I was thinking was that if a whole bunch of old people died, right?
Yeah.
Would not the government or the Social Security system kind of be off the hook.
They'd have a lot of relief, obviously.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I mean, and I'm not completely knowledge on the subject. If like maybe like their funds go to like a next of kin, I don't know all that shit.
I don't know.
But it kind of seems like that might happen. It's kind of like the way it seems like Downey would be getting a lot of profits right now, and Purell.
Yeah.
They'd be getting a lot of profit. It seems like it, but
actually,
we don't know.
I don't want to keep calling out the companies and stuff because like I know what I see coming through, and you can tell who making the killing right now. You can tell who making the killing.
Oh, I don't mind calling out a corrupt company. That's for damn sure, man. Or somebody that I think is corrupt.
Here's the thing. Like, I wouldn't even necessarily say that those companies are corrupt because people are buying up their shit. You know what I mean? Unless they got something to do with it, which would...
That's a conspiracy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a conspiracy.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know that, so I can't say that, and I can't, convey that or preach that as truth because, I don't know. And to be honest with you, I really don't believe that. Now, anything is possible, especially in these fucking times, but, that's more, like I said, it's, we're on tin hat shit right now. It is what it is.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We're as far as being the tin hat shit, but that's like I said. At this moment, we're kind of delving into the conspiracy side of this whole COVID-19 thing.
I want you to remember something. I'm gonna cut you off for a second. Don't forget this: the Tin Man. Okay, what was he looking for?
A heart,
which means he still had a brain.
Right.
Okay. So just, don't forget that. People start talking that tinfoil bullshit or that Tin Man bullshit. He still had a fucking brain.
All right, you were absolutely reaching as far as you can into that situation.
You goddamn right.
To find that metaphor, but it worked, and I'm going to go ahead and just lock that in as a metaphor that works.
It proved the point. He still had a brain.
That's right, man. A tinfoil man is still a man. Mm-hmm. And he's still got his ideas and beliefs. And just because somebody is saying, hey, man, they're targeting me or something, doesn't mean they're not. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit that's been going on, And if you want to ask me about this whole, my biggest idea, what's the conspiracy? Mm-hmm. Do you want to ask me that?
What's your idea? Please tell it.
It's too close to the election season for me. Mm. If it was some random moment, I can understand. But when all the right wing is telling all the left wing, hey, we've got a great economy, and then all of a sudden this fucking disease comes out, and it's been like the news organizations that are telling us, oh, it's the Chinese, it's a bat, it's all this other shit, right? I saw an ad, from Kaiser Permanente, $1,500 cash. If you come in, get infected, they'll infect you with COVID-19, and then they'll run tests to try to cure you quicker. They're trying new things, like looking for a cure, right? But it's actually a thing. Now, my question is, where are they getting the stock of the disease?
That's exactly what I was about to say, No bullshit. That's exactly what I was about to say. Where the fuck they getting the shit from?
Right. I run a business, bro, and fucking, if I want to print something, I need to buy paper. Yeah. And I need to have a bunch of it in stock to do that. Yeah. So the only option I can think of is they're either they have it in stock and somehow it is synthetically made. Yeah. They made it. Or they lock you in a room with a coughing Chinaman or a bat. One of the two, right? They make you eat a bat, or they lock you in a room with some fucking guy who has the coronavirus.
And I highly doubt bats is on the table. I highly doubt that.
Right, and I would like to renege what I said, because it doesn't have to be a Chinaman. It could be a fucking, any person who has a coronavirus. They could lock you in a room with them and just have them cough all over you. Is that what's going to happen? No, they have it in stock. So if they have it in stock, where'd they get it?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry that it took so long to get to that, but that's my feeling.
It smells fishy.
Yeah, so
there's certain aspects that smell really fishy.
And I think that it's fucked up that it's reaching around the country the way it is. And I feel like maybe somebody's out there just planning it. This is just the conspiracy side.
Not just here.
Right.
This is pandemic.
Yeah, but in this country is where we're worried. Because we're here.
Who's worried is who's worried, but go ahead.
Right. We're here.
Yeah.
And a lot of other countries are like, damn, if America falls, a lot of democratic nations fall. And there's a lot of shit that America kind of has going for the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
If America falls,
yeah, it's the world marketplace, man.
Right.
It is. It is.
no, I think everybody knows what's happening. You know what I mean? And as far as conspiracy theories are concerned, I did lose my job because the communications industry is fucking shut down. I was working at a print shop where I communicated. I sent out communication for things like the League of Women's Voters, for things like, the National Children's Museum, for George Washington University, And I had a second job in the works that I was going to classes for. I was taking camera classes, and I'm not going to go into details about it, but it was for a company that is a major news company. And they're located in D.C. right next to my job. And I got to know somebody, got in there, right? Great benefits, awesome company, very, very left-wing company, but I don't care about that. I just want to work in the industry. I want to get myself going. That job's gone. They shut down that news organization for the time being and all the classes. And my job, National Children's Museum, National Children's Museum, right?
Yeah.
League of Women's Voters, all of the different lawyers that we print for. None of them are sending in work. Yeah. They all went home.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they got it saved up. The government said, hey, you can do it. You can go home and be lazy. And so many people are just like, yay. Right? Mm-hmm. So many people are like glad they can be lazy, But I don't want to be lazy. You're out there working every day, bro. And I know that we're running on 45 minutes here as far as our show is concerned, and this episode.
Yeah.
I don't care how long it goes. To be quite frank, you can stay here as long as you want. I'm here all night, all day. We could do this for 3 fucking hours.
Shit, because I got to work tomorrow.
Yeah. I feel you, Mm-hmm. But all in all, I'm at this point where I'm like, man, some of us are out there and some of us are not. And if I can't be out there and I can't get up in the morning, I'm gonna do this,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna bring people in. I'm gonna give them a chance to go ahead and I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick. And then we may have an awkward pause here. We may not. But is there anything that you want to put out there? Anything you want to talk about? Anybody that you want to shout out? I definitely want you to go ahead and plug your Facebook and your Instagram or whatever the case may be.
I'm not gonna plug the book. The only reason why I'm not gonna plug the book is because that's my dark hole.
You got Instagram, Twitter?
Twitter, yes. If you want to find me on Twitter, X1MAX. That is X1MAX. Okay.
All right.
Like I said, I'm not gonna plug the book.
I saw that X beautifully.
Yeah.
I saw it beautifully.
Yeah. They didn't say it right, but you get the point. Anyway.
Right. X1 M A X on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got the gram on to use it, so whatever. But like I said, but Facebook is my dark hole, man. That's where my fun is. It's it's a place that I don't speak of, but I use in a different way, just because it's fun for me.
Right.
But I'm not gonna plug it though.
Right. So we're gonna actually have a part 2 to this because I had a few more questions I wanted to ask you, but I know it's getting late. The time is about right for us to shut it down anyway.
Yeah.
So at the end here, you've given your plug, you've given your whole thing. What's your vibe, bro? Are you still into music?
I mean, I enjoy music at this point, man, but I just okay, you're a musician yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I think what I'm about to say, you'll understand where I'm coming from. When you're a person that has the ability to create music, especially a unique sound, like something that was never made before, to the best of your knowledge, but whatever.
Right.
You get a certain feeling from that. You know what I mean? It's like, especially, the more other ears that hear it, it vibes with them, you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, damn, I might be on to something.
You feel plugged in.
Hey, like you want to on a different wavelength, but whatever.
Right.
But it's like, man, after a certain point, man, I ain't feel that shit anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, do I still enjoy listening to music? Sure, but it's just like I don't have that fire to create shit.
Do you feel like there was something that happened, like a catalyst? I don't want to dig too deep into your like post-traumatic stress disorder, which I think all of us men have it, bro. All of us men have like PTSD from dealing with just the kind of life that's been created by like the people that created our world. Let's just put it that way. You know, it's not what it used to be. The relationships and all that, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, do you think that was it something that happened in your life that kind of made you just turn your focus from music? Because you were really into music. I mean, like I want to go ahead and reiterate the song that was playing before. That's my man's beat here, you know what I mean? That's my man's song, and he definitely has a catalog of music that we could play, you know what I mean? So, that being said, something must have made you stop. Did you just give up on it? Like you just didn't care, or what happened?
That's probably the best answer, man. Just stop caring. I fell out of love with it. You know what I mean? You know, as far as the creation aspect of it, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I know the ability is still there, but it's different when you don't love it the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't. You don't crave it. It doesn't compel you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just what it is. You know what I mean? I don't like to say that I'm happy about it or sad about it. I'm just, you know, it is what it is, and I'm at peace with that shit. You know, maybe there'll come a point where I'm just like, you know what? Maybe we get locked the fuck down for a month or 2 months or 3, right? Maybe bouncing off the fucking walls and shit. You know what I'm saying? I might. Goddamn, you know what? Let me sit down in front of this damn thing and make some new shit before I really lose it.
That's what I'm talking about. So
it's possible.
So you haven't just given up all hope, because I mean, to me that's the biggest thing, man. When I've seen so many musicians, growing up from when I was little and young, and people who just started playing, and guys who thought they were cool and all that shit, grow out of it and say, you know, I'm too old for it or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm 41 years old. 41, okay? And I am not stopping until I'm fucking dead. I will continue to create everything I can. And I realized that's unique.
Yeah.
And I had to battle through a lot of things. As a matter of fact, for a good 5 years I didn't play guitar.
Yeah.
But I've picked it back up and I'm going back into my life. I'm learning new things. I'm remembering who I was.
Yeah.
Because, you know, subject for a different talk, but I did get a whole new chance at trying something else in life, which a lot of people don't get to do. You get your cards and you deal them, and you deal with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're dealt your cards and you fucking play them.
Yeah.
You know,
Or fold.
Exactly, the best you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, man, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna get you back in, because honestly, that beat there that you had in the very beginning of this show was the perfect intro beat. And I'd like anybody who's watching this and who has stuck into the end, I hope somebody stuck into the end, to go ahead and just comment if you think that was the perfect intro beat. You know what I mean? Into a fucking podcast. Did I say podcast?
Yeah.
I did. Into a show, cast, pottily dottily, whatever, slottily waddly, oh my goddly. Oh, what did I doddly? So anyway, yeah, but still, if you think that was like the perfect intro to a show, that shit sounded tight to me. So I'd like to use that or get something like that made. As a matter of fact, I don't want to use that one. I want you to make a new one that's kind of like...
Oh, you want something original.
Vibing like that, yeah.
Alright, okay.
Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to cut it off.
Oh, no, but we can't cut it off yet.
No?
No.
All right, I'm still in. You know, I'm only cutting it off for my man here. So if he wants to keep going, we'll keep going. What you got on your mind, man?
Well, for one, for sure, there's one legitimate reason why we can't cut it off yet. The shit does still not have a name. It has to have a name before it's over.
I think the name's already been settled. Because
really?
Yeah. I think the name should be, where were we?
Yeah, no bullshit. No bullshit, because that already happened. No bullshit.
Right?
No bullshit.
And it's going to keep happening. Because, god damn if I have any fucking rhyme or reason behind all the shit that I say. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I have held back so many ridiculously useless jokes during this fucking show that I just... I'm going to put them out there. I'm going to do a whole, like, fucking video of just joke after joke.
Spit out one you held back. Just one.
Okay. I'm not into ass play, but I do have a clit on my anus.
God damn. That one? Alright, man. Where were we?
Exactly. Where were we?
Oh, so, hey, this is for me, though, right? Because, like I said, you know, while this is the show, I'm also doing my live shit. You know, this is for me, for my fun, okay? What's the name of, where can people find the show?
Oh, yeah, you definitely, if you want to find this show, yeah, Animalistic 6, that's the name of my channel. Animalistic 6.
Yeah.
Animalistic 6. No spaces or anything like that. Okay. There's a big eyeball on the icon. I might change that eventually and put my smiling face.
Does it look something like that? Like right up in that motherfucker like that?
Possibly, but it actually looks more alien.
Yeah, demonic, really. It's like red, like...
Yeah. Well, I can't...
freaky looking, but whatever.
I can't separate you from that because you look demonic to me.
How? That's fucked up.
You know, it's just like how I was raised.
God damn it.
My dad was like...
No, so we gotta discuss this shit now, man. God damn it. Give me a cigarette.
Watch out for these guys.
God damn it.
You need a jack? You ain't got nothing in there?
Nah, I'm out of jacks.
Okay, I'm leaving the room.
That's fucked up, man.
I have to leave, bro.
Just for one cigarette?
Yeah.
God.
Just for one fucking cigarette, bro.
But yeah, man, explain that to me. How the fuck am I demonic? Yeah, I saw that bullshit. Yeah, I saw it. I peeped it.
But it wasn't in.
Yeah.
How are you demonic?
Yeah.
You're not. I just think it's interesting the way like people have all these kinds of stereotypes and shit.
Yeah.
Like I have tattoos.
So y'all can see this shit one time. That's what's going on up there. You know. Make that connection for y'all. So you want to show them that shit too? Oh, there's some shit going on over there.
Oh yeah, a little super duper guys. Animalistic 6 channel on YouTube. Just go there and sub and click like and
hit that fucking bell.
Yeah, do everything that you can on there. And then walk away. Hey, you don't even have to listen.
He said do everything you can.
Yeah, you don't even have to listen to this whole thing. You could just literally just turn it on, put it in a separate tab, mute it, and let it play through. I don't give a fuck, honestly. It looks like we're in a fucking cave, like a
I know.
Dark, evil cave.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And we're back.
And I still have no cigarette.
In his world.
And I still have no cigarette.
But I do. Look at that. Bro. And suddenly, you know, when another guy doesn't have a jack, you love your jack more. It's like you just fucking...
You ain't even bullshitting, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
give me a fucking cigarette, man. Come on,
better.
Man.
Here, let me get rid of this for you, bro.
Please, thank you.
And away we go. Yeah, I don't want to sponsor any, get sponsored by any nicotine companies or show any brands, but we did what we did. Yeah. We're fucking rebels. We're renegades. We're ready for Armageddon. We are ready for the shit to hit the fan, right? What do you think, man? What are you going to do? What's your plan if all of a sudden it's like Red Dawn? Russians are dropping out of the sky in parachutes, shooting people and rounding people up. What's your plan?
Get out of the city, get to high ground to start with. That means you got to move fast, and you don't have to move light. Obviously, you're gonna have to find other like-minded people because one person alone is not gonna cut it.
That was my next question. Is this a matter of self-survival, or do you find your friends or your family?
You gotta find something, yeah. You gotta find something because, like, like you can't run that gauntlet alone. You just fucking can't. It's too much.
Right.
It's too much.
Now that being said, isn't that true for like let's say your mom and your sister?
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be like the most obvious choice to go to them first?
Do you want the cold hard truth, or do you want the hard truth? Because those are two different answers.
I just want, you know,
and that's the God's honest truth. Those are two different answers.
Look, if it's cold and hard, that sounds like a dildo.
That's not what I meant.
But if it's...
Man, you know the fucking phrase, bro.
I want the hot, hard truth. I want the drippy, slippy truth. I want the truth that goes in and just has electrical energy that touches all of your, like, nerve endings.
Your innards.
And then, like, yeah. And then you feel it, and then it comes back out. I don't want no fucking rubbers. I don't want nothing like that. Tell me the truth, bro.
No.
Who would you go to fucking find immediately?
Honestly, I probably link with somebody that's on the same mindset as me, because to be honest with you, me trying to go to my mom and my sisters and shit is gonna be a dead end, because for me to go there would involve me having to protect them, because you know they obviously can't do what I do, but they're obviously not gonna want to leave. But it's gonna come to a point where motherfuckers gonna decide to kick down the goddamn door, and I can't bodyguard you from bullets and survive. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a dead end. Like, and at that point, if it's about survival for real, cold hard truth is I can't go there. If I want to survive, I can't go there.
You have to find a survival-minded group of people.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I've thought about myself. There's a lot of females in my life, and, you know, females and even children, you know?
Yeah.
So I have not yet been able to contact. I've tried, you know, my kids. Long, complicated story, but that's one of the first things I think about.
Yeah.
If something was to go down, you want to get to them. You want to make sure that they're okay, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of us that are displaced, though. Men who just like are in this world and kind of just don't fit in anywhere, you know what I mean? Like,
you know what's fucked up? You know, to your point, you know what's fucked up? When they talk about this potential lockdown and all this shit, unfortunately, the idea behind that suits me, because I've been in isolation for so long any fucking way. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's not going to affect me more than it's going to affect most people that just are stuck in the fucking house and are not used to being stuck in the fucking house, especially extroverts and social butterflies. They're going to suffer.
I'll be honest, man, I'm there too. Like, for the longest time, and there's going to be a lot of people who watch this show who will know, like, they knew me before and they haven't known me up until now. You know what I mean? And to that, I would just like to say that we seem to be ahead of the curve. Like, we were fucking, like, introverts before it was cool to self-isolate. You know what I mean? Like, now, like, we were doing it first, buddy. We were on the front lines of the trends. That's what I'm saying. But I tell you what, man, we've hit the 1 hour mark, and I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna call it, because 8 o'clock is, to me, gives you enough time to get home by like 9. You know what I mean? We'll just go ahead and call this shit. So, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this podcast, this show. I'm gonna keep doing that, by the way. It's gonna be funny. I'm just gonna keep doing it, and I'm not gonna start backtracking anymore. I'm not gonna threaten to cut up the show, but yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed just listening, or even if you didn't enjoy it, if you just felt like somebody was around and somebody was doing something too, because we're all kind of alone in this. And I want to thank my man Jahan.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
I want to thank my man Jahan for coming out 1MA. And braving this coronavirus just to sit here with me and make
shit every
things.
Fucking day, man. Every fucking day.
I feel you, right? But
every
hey,
day, man.
at this day and age, that's considered braving the coronavirus. So kudos to you, and keep delivering those package bros. And I hope that you don't start like hacking and coughing and die of the coronavirus.
Hey man,
Horrible bloody death.
bruh. If I live, I live. If I die, I die. And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as fucking that.
And that's as simple as it is for all of us. If we live, we live. If we die, we die. I think that anybody who's lived this close to DC for this long has always known if the nukes come in for the White House, we're all fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're done.
All right, everybody. I want you to stay safe. I don't care if you stay inside or not. Matter of fact, I think you should go outside and probably try to contract it and get your immune system used to that type of virus. I don't know. Virtue, any last words?
Hope you enjoyed it. That was corny as shit, but I don't give a fuck.
Whatever.
And